You're watching Mugen TV RPG Haven. Experience a fantasy like no other.
Hey guys, it's MugenLord here, and I'm back again with another video, and today I want to talk about Tales of Arise. Now, it's been a long time since we heard anything about this JRPG from Bandai Namco. I mean, I'm a big Tales fan. I think my very first Tales game was Tales of Destiny, which is called the Tales of Eternia in Japan. I had that on the PS1. Really enjoyed it. Loved playing the multiplayer with my brothers and my sisters. I thought that was pretty fun. But the game that I had the most experience and I enjoyed the most, that really got me officially in with the Tales series, was Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube. I was dying for a JRPG on the Nintendo GameCube, because Nintendo, especially back during the SNES, they was famous, and known for having great JRPGs. So I was dying for a JRPG, and then here we have Tales of Symphonia, and I've been a big fan of the Tales series ever since. And moving forward, I don't know, I kind of just dipped away from the Tales series, because I don't know, like, the Tales series kind of got, I guess you could say, I want to say repetitive. I don't know, they just haven't stuck out enough for me. They started feeling the same to me in every entry. So I decided to step away from it for a bit. But then we had gotten the trailer of Tales of Arise, I believe about a year and a half to almost 2 years ago. And I was like, wait a minute, whoa, I think it was like E3, I believe. And I was like, wow, this is a bold step, especially the fact is, like, I was wondering when we're going to get a true next gen experience Tales game that's going to pretty much step their game up. And even though it's not a true next gen, because now, this Tales game was designed specifically for for last gen, which is the PS4, the Xbox One, or whatever like that. But it's still a step up from what we had from the other Tales game. So after seeing that trailer, I'm like, this is like such a tease, because I want to see more about this. Like, the characters look much more mature. It looks much more dark, gritty. It looks much more serious than the previous Tales games. So I'm fully on board with this, especially how the environments look. It looked more open world looking compared to the other Tales games. And then ever since that happened, Bandai Namco just went completely ghost with the game. And that's more so had to do with a lot about the whole COVID, with the lockdowns, and COVID had pretty much messed up development for a lot of these companies when it comes to development announcements and things like that. So they kind of went dark, and we haven't heard anything about it. So it was kind of like off my radar for quite some time. And then just like a few days ago, out of nowhere, all of this Tales of Arise content started popping up, and we are essentially near E3. We do have E3 coming up, so I can see a lot of developers now putting out a lot of games, details and information to prep everybody up, to get everybody hyped for E3. So that does make sense overall. But after they posted up a lot of we have gameplay, locations, character descriptions, story bits and everything, and I must say that this is the Tales game that I've been waiting for a very long time, and I'm ready to dive right back into it. Now, from what we understand and what we have so far, Bandai Namco said that they're pretty much finished developing the game. Right now, they're just putting the final touches on everything, and we should expect to see it in September. So they said, do not expect any delays for this game. That these guys are on track, and they should be ready and will be ready by September, which is a good thing. Now, knowing that this game is coming out in September, I definitely got to go play Tales of Vesperia definitive edition that I have for the Nintendo Switch that I bought last year and still haven't opened at all. So I definitely need to pick that game up and play through that. And even though they're two different games, I haven't played a Tales game in a while, but I think this would be a step backwards to play that and then go back to Vesperia. So I should get Vesperia out of the way. But anyway, the fact is that they showed some gameplay. They're very confident in what they're showing so far, and I must say that the visuals, the character designs look just totally just gorgeous, especially for a PS4 game. And of course, I have the PS5, so I'll be definitely playing on the PS5. But the character designs overall is right up my alley. I love the character designs, and they've shown off the main character, the female protagonist, and the mage, and also the fighter. And I love the mage's design. I think her design is pretty dope. I love the big cloak that she has with the hoodie, and she has the book and everything like that. Her design overall is pretty cool. And then also the fighter, he looks pretty badass too. Like I can't wait to even try that character out with the combos and everything like that. But overall, it seems like that they want to expand on exploration even more, and they also want to make the battles much more seamless. So there's not really like a victory screen. It's like right when you get to the combat, you defeat the enemies, it goes right back to the field, and then you get you tally up your experience points, your money and everything like that. But also it seems like that the combat seems like a bit more deep and a bit more engaging as well. And it seems like the combos is much longer, like compared to the other Tales games. I mean, the combos look like definitely look sick. And another thing they announced as well is that the game won't have any multiplayer, which I'm completely fine with. I mean, even though that I did play with my brothers and them, it still wasn't like an essential thing, because the multiplayer is more so only for the battles. Like, so most of the time your friends, if you're playing local, your friends are sitting around until you get into an encounter, so most of the time your friends are just sitting around, unless they came up with a multiplayer where the party members are allowed to, the players are allowed to use the other party members to traverse dungeons and towns with player one. Then I don't know, the multiplayer, I wouldn't be missing it at all anyway. So if they didn't do anything else outside just having the multiplayer, just only being in the battles, then I think then that'd be cool for them to keep it. But if they're gonna remove it, I wouldn't miss it too much, and especially as some Tales games went through all these different ways of how to unlock the multiplayer and stuff like that, which, like, especially like Tales of Grace, I thought was stupid. But yes, so no multiplayer. They also essentially pretty much was saying that Tales of Arise is also going to be like essentially like a reboot to the franchise as well. Moving forward, they want to gear Tales of Arise more to the Western audience, so they're making it much more darker, grittier, much more serious. It's not going to have much of the, I guess I would say, like weeaboo type aspects that most of the Tales games had in the past. Which to me was pretty fine. I love all the Tales, a lot of the humor and how the characters are presented in a past Tales game. But it seems like they want to do away with that, make it much more serious, much more grittier, and things like that to appeal to much more of a Western audience. Now, even though that the Tales series is pretty popular, it's still pretty much a niche RPG franchise. So it seems like they want to mainstream it to get more people into the Tales series, which it seems like a lot of Japanese companies are trying to do with their JRPGs, to make it to appeal to that Western audience, to get more people on board with it. And I can tell by the comment sections of some of these, some of the trailers that they have put out so far, there's a lot of people in the comment section that pretty much stated this, said they never even heard of the Tales series, or they heard of it but never gave it a try. But this game right here, from what they've shown off so far, it got them curious, and they definitely want to give this one a try. So this is going to be an entry point for a lot of new players who've never played the Tales games before. So I think this essentially is going to be a good thing. So especially when this game does do well, because I know it will for a fact do really, really well. I expect more good things moving forward with the franchise. And now, looking at the environments, it looks like they put a lot of effort into the environments. The environments look much more open-ended. It has that open world feel to it, which is something that they wanted. It was like they really wanted to go for, compared to the older Tales games, which was much more closed in, a little bit more linear, and with of course with branching path here and there. But it seemed like they really want to go with this big vast openness with the environments and locations. So that definitely looked cool. I'm looking forward to see what side quests is going to have to it. I wonder if the cooking system is going to make a return into the game, which I've never really really got into the cooking, but that's always been a staple mechanic to the Tales series. So I wonder if that's going to return. I wonder if the character interactions, like where you press the select button and you get these like little side branch conversations and stuff. So that was another essential mechanic to like the more recent Tales games, which open more character interaction and character development and everything. So I want to know if they want to keep that, and if will that make a return as well. But overall, I'm definitely looking forward to see what this game has to offer. I'm super excited, and from what we saw of the characters so far, I wonder if there's going to be more characters past the 4 characters that was revealed so far. I wonder if we're going to have probably 2 more that they probably haven't revealed yet, or 3 more they haven't revealed yet, because the Tales series is known for having such a wide cast, a varied cast. So I think 4 will be a bummer. I think I like to see what other designs for other characters will be added to the game, because I love the designs, and I would love to see what other designs that they have for potential playable characters moving forward. So that's pretty much it. I definitely want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you looking forward to Tales of Arise? What do you think that about the fact that Bandai Namco really want to cater or try to draw in the Western audience by making it much more darker, grittier, much more serious than the previous Tales games? What are your thoughts on that? Are you kind of nervous that catering to the West is something that's starting to hurt a lot of Japanese companies, or make Japanese companies lose their identity because they're chasing the Western market so much? I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. What aspects of Tales of Arise got you excited? Was it the characters, the location, the artistic design, or the combat system? Definitely like to hear that. So if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, and if you're on the Odyssey platform, hit the follow button. If you want to stay up to date for more RPGs like Tales of Arise, hit that notification bell to be notified for more content. This is MugenLord signing off. I'll see you game fiends later. Peace out.